life can feel heavy at times, like you're just going through the motions. It was then when the days seemed to blur into one and the smallest tasks felt impossible, when life seemed to have lost its color, its flavor, its music, that I realized that for a while, I was just surviving. But slowly, little by little, I began to remember. Romanticizing life isn't about having a perfect life. It's about teaching yourself to fall in love with the world again, even after it's hurt you. This video is not just for you who's watching this. It's also a reminder to myself, a love letter to the life I'm choosing to romanticize day by day. A reminder of why I do it and how to begin again. Romanticizing life doesn't mean everything's perfect or that you're living in some sort of fantasy bubble. It's not about pretending that hard days don't exist, because they do. Trust me, there are plenty of days when things don't go as planned. It's about learning to see the beauty in the cracks, to appreciate the small, beautiful moments in the middle of the chaos. It's about finding joy in the everyday, yes, but it's also about letting yourself have fun, even when life feels hard. To romanticize life is to create meaning, to slow down, to savor. It's taking the time to notice the small, sacred moments that often slip by unnoticed. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the smell of coffee brewing, the sound of rain against your window at night. It's making the choice to notice, to appreciate, and to be present. Reminding yourself that life is happening in these moments, not in the big, perfect milestones we're always chasing. But that's the beauty of it. Romanticizing life is about choosing to see the beauty. I'll be honest, a few months ago, I lost my dad in a tragic accident. Having gone through a rough patch would be an understatement, and it made me, understandably so, completely lose the perspective of things. As you can imagine, it's hard to see the beauty when you feel like someone turned down the volume on the world when you are in survival mode. However, I am not special. We all find ourselves in a bad space sometimes. Whether it's burnout, heartbreak, loss, or just the weight of the world, there are times when you forget how to feel joy. And that's okay. In fact, I'd venture to say it's necessary. It's part of the human experience. But what matters is that we don't stay there forever. And you know what? For me, learning how to romanticize life again has been a healing process that, mind you, is still ongoing. I've had to start small, really small. It's about taking one step at a time, the tiniest steps really, the ones that feel almost too small to matter. Some days it's just about finding one thing to be grateful for, like just one. Perhaps it is making my bed in the morning as one small act of control, or treating myself to my favorite snack, or playing music in the kitchen and dancing like no one is watching. Well, except for my cat, who is definitely watching and judging me. And some days, those things are enough. It was those small things that reminded me that joy is always there, even if you have to dig a little bit to find it. And that's the thing. You can begin again. You can always begin again. One of the hardest things about coming out of a tough season is remembering how to see the beauty around you. I think that's one of the secrets to today's topic. It's not that it disappeared, it's that we sometimes lose the ability to notice it. Like the smell of fresh laundry, or that first sip of coffee when the world is still quiet. Those are the moments we often overlook, but they're the ones that give life its meaning, in my opinion. So how do we actually do this? How do we learn or relearn, like in my case, to romanticize life from scratch? Here is what helped me. Start tiny. As previously established, romanticizing life isn't about the grand, sweeping changes. It's about small, meaningful ones. You don't need to overhaul your life in one day. Just pick one thing, one tiny thing, that makes you feel even a little bit more alive. Maybe it is buying yourself flowers. Maybe it's going for a walk. Or maybe it is as simple as lighting a candle or opening the window to let the fresh air in. Or you can be as weird as me and pour yourself some juice in a wine glass. I swear, try it. It changes the whole vibe instantly. And here's the key. Don't rush it. Romanticizing life isn't about rushing to the next big thing. It's about slowing down. It's about savoring the moments in between, the moments we usually let pass us by because we are too busy or too distracted. Play music while you're doing the most boring tasks. Seriously, dance while you do the dishes. Belt out a ballad while vacuuming and pretend you can do it like Adele. Or start your morning with a soft, chill playlist to set the tone for the day. I know I start mine with Mozart and all the classical beats that never get old. Yes, that's right. That better not be a judgy look I see on your face. Get a little bit creative about it. Switch it up. Create little rituals for yourself, like giving yourself a mini reward when you check something off your to-do list, so there are constantly things to look forward to throughout your most demanding days. I'm talking about all sorts of small intentional acts that can turn your boring days into something that feels a little bit more mindful and fulfilling. Get outside and spend time in nature. There's something about being in nature that clears your mind and helps you reconnect with yourself. It's not just about the things you do at home. Romanticizing life is also about stepping outside, even if it's just around the block, and connecting with the world around you. Nature is like a reset button where you can just be. It's like pressing pause on the noise of life. A simple walk, feeling the breeze on your skin, the grass under your feet, the way the sunlight filters through the trees, the sound of birds. Feeling and listening to the world around you can shift your whole mood. It reminds you that life is bigger than the things that you're worrying about. There's definitely something grounding about being outside. It's like the world slows down during those moments of awe once you start paying attention to them. Whether it's a weekend hike, a quick walk around your neighborhood, or even sitting quietly with a book outside can bring so much peace. It reconnects you to something bigger than yourself. Spending time with friends, reconnecting with those people who make you laugh, who remind you of who you are outside of the hard days is so important. Especially if, like me, you're far from home. When you're away from family, that sense of connection becomes even more essential. Friends become your lifeline, your standing support system, and sometimes even your sanity check. Believe me, I need one of those. Whether it is a long, chatty walk with a friend, sitting on the grass with a coffee in hand, swapping stories, feeling connected with people you care about brings a sense of lightness that sometimes we lose when we are on our own. Sometimes all it takes is being with someone who gets you. No pressure, just good vibes, and maybe some snacks. Who doesn't need anything from you except for your company? It's extraordinary how just being around people can pull you out of a funk, even if you're far from home. Those moments of connection remind you that you don't have to go through it all on your own. And if you're new in town and do not know many people yet, that's okay. I got you, girl. We've all been there. Putting yourself into a situation when you are surrounded by people, especially if they are indirectly sharing some sort of experience with you, like at the gym or having breakfast at a coffee shop, it can still give you a lot of the benefits of connecting with people, even if you're not even talking to them. Believe me, it sounds nuts, but it works wonders. Explore your hobbies. Carve out the time to do things you love. Painting, gardening, playing an instrument, or even learning something new like knitting. I don't know. It's in those creative moments that you find yourself again. I myself have been trying to reconnect with the things I love to do, but I ended up putting in the back burner for too long. In my case, it is things like reading, painting, and overall exploring my creative side. Hobbies remind us of our playful side. It's all about losing yourself in the flow of creating, moving, or exploring something just because it speaks to your soul somehow. And you'd be surprised how many times you'll find that you are rediscovering parts of yourself that you thought you'd lost. Spice up everyday life. You don't need a vacation or a huge plan to feel the excitement of adventure. Most of the time, the best moments come from the little, unplanned adventures we take in our daily lives. Whether it is exploring a new cafe in your neighborhood, trying a hobby you've always been curious about, or taking a spontaneous day trip somewhere close by, many adventures can reignite the spark of curiosity and excitement without needing extensive planning. Let's face it, life's too short to wait for big trips or the extraordinary things that we can only enjoy every once in a while. All we normally have are those pajamas we wear as soon as we have washed them because, oh my god, they are so comfy, the random genuine compliments we get from strangers, or cuddling up at night with our pets. Those are the bonds that make up our lives and the things we get to cherish and experience daily.
Yeah, you wanna put that dish in your mouth.
Move your body. Romanticizing life isn't just about slowing down, it's also about moving your body in ways that feel good. I don't care if your preference is going for a peaceful walk in nature, stretching, if you're a yoga girly, or a mini dance party while you're doing your chores, there's something incredible about how movement has the ability to instantly bring joy and shift your perspective for the better. Exercise doesn't have to be about hitting the gym or pushing yourself hard. It can be about celebrating what your body can do, moving in ways that feel playful and freeing. Create a morning routine. Start a day with intention. Mornings can be tough. I know, I'm not an early bird myself. Your morning routine can be as simple or as elaborate as you want to make it. Enjoying the quiet moments, staring into the abyss, and reconsidering all of your life choices with your morning drink of choice, journaling your thoughts for a few minutes, reading 10 pages of a book, getting your exercise in if you're somebody who has a lot of energy at the very start of your days. I can tell you I am not. Whatever it is, just carve out a few moments that are yours before your obligations claim the rest of your time. It's about setting intentions, centering yourself, and starting the day with a sense of calm and focus rather than chaos. It's the best way to set the tone for your entire day and a way to remind yourself that you're in control of your day, not the other way around. Take time to fill your cup first. Create a nighttime routine. Wind down with intention. And just like having an intentional morning routine is important, so is ending the day in the same way. This is your chance to slow down, reflect, and reset. Find a ritual that makes you feel calm and centered. For me, some of my favorite things are sipping a cup of tea while reading a book or writing down a few things I'm grateful for before bed. It's such a simple way to transition from the busy energy of the day to a more peaceful, reflective space, creating a soothing atmosphere to signal to your body that it's time to relax. It's your time to unwind, and you deserve it. Curate your space. All of us people that live alone, whether it is in a foreign country such as myself, or are just lucky or unlucky, depends on how you want to view it, enough to have your own apartment, we know that living alone can feel isolating sometimes. But it also gives you the opportunity to create a space that is just for you. A true sanctuary, if you will. Your home or workspace should feel like a place that makes you feel good just by being in it. And don't worry, you don't need to be living in a Pinterest-perfect apartment for this. It doesn't matter how big or small your place is, it's about curating an environment that feels like home. Bring in things that make you feel peaceful and happy, candles that match the vibe of the season, soft blankets that you cannot wait to wrap yourself in every time you get home, a cozy reading corner if you have the space for it, where you can sit, sip tea, and pretend you're in a little cafe in Paris, or you can add some greenery. Listen, my frustrated dream has been growing a sunflower from scratch. Needless to say, I have not successfully completed this task as of today because my cat keeps eating the sprouts as soon as they grow. But someday, I will enter the room and see a beautiful blooming sunflower. I still have faith. Anyway, your space should reflect what makes you feel good. And if that means sorting your bookshelves by color, then so be it. I will be the last person to tell you not to do that. When you curate your space with love and intention, you're creating a retreat that helps you recharge and feel connected to yourself. Make it yours, your little slice of happiness. Dress for you. Okay, here's one that's all about you. Dressing for yourself. Clothes aren't just about fashion. They're about how you feel when you wear them. They're just another way to remind yourself that you deserve to feel good. Forget dressing for others or worrying about trends. Wear what makes you feel fabulous, confident, cozy, or even a little bit daring. Or just why not? Sexy. Whether it's an oversized sweater and those comfy sweats that feel like a hug, or that bright lipstick and colored dress you save for special occasions, girl, pull it out. Even if it's just for a day of errands, or if you're the only one who's going to see it. Your clothes are like an extension of you, so dress in a way that celebrates your uniqueness, even if it's just for yourself. In fact, especially if it's just for yourself. I'll say it again, it doesn't matter what you wear, what matters is how it makes you feel. And let me tell you, I even go to the gym all made up, not because I like seeking attention or because I want to impress anybody. Trust me, the faces I make while working out have the exact opposite effect on people, but because it makes me feel good. There's something about showing up to my workout feeling put together and confident with a cute gym outfit that really motivates me to give my best. It's my little ritual that helps me feel empowered, and that gives me the extra motivation to push myself because, trust me again, I push myself. It's like telling myself I'm worth the effort. Mind you, I do not care what I look like once the workout is done. This is not about vanity. It's about giving my brain the message that I deserve to feel good, even when I'm just about to put my body through some much needed and healthy suffering. I do not only wait for the afterward reward of the feel-good hormones that working out releases, but I ensure to make myself feel good about it from the very beginning, even before leaving my apartment. because that is when the ritual begins, while getting ready. But here's the thing, it doesn't mean you're not confident if you don't get yourself all made up either. Some days I just roll out of bed, throw my hair in a messy bun, and head out the door in whatever's comfy. And that is perfectly fine. Not putting in the extra effort can feel just as empowering because it's all about balance. There are times when I love the ritual of getting dressed up, and then there are days when simplicity is exactly what I need. I want you to understand, neither is right or wrong. It's just about listening to yourself and doing what makes you feel good in that moment. At the end of the day, it's not about makeup or fancy clothes or keeping up with any kind of routine. It's about doing what makes you feel aligned with your best self. Whether that means getting fully glammed up or rocking your natural look. Both are expressions of confidence. One more time, confidence comes from how you feel on the inside, not what you look like on the outside. This isn't about impressing anyone. It's about showing up for yourself. Prioritizing you time. We can't pour from an empty cup, so prioritizing time for yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. Whether it's reading a book, meditation, a hot bath, putting on that face mask you bought at Sephora and never ended up using. Yeah, that one you shoved in your bathroom drawer and forgot about, that's the one I'm talking about. Or just doing whatever your heart pleases, taking time for yourself is so important. Prioritizing you time is about listening to your needs. It's a way to reflect, breathe, and just be with yourself without any pressure. It's in these moments of solitude that we remember we're never truly alone. We're always with ourselves, our best company, and that, most of the time, is more than enough. Commuting with intention. Think about it. It doesn't matter if it is driving, walking, or taking a bus. We spend a lot of our lives going from point A to B, and yeah, commuting or being stuck in traffic can feel like a drag sometimes, and let's be honest, it sucks, nobody likes it, except... what if I told you you can actually turn your commute into something enjoyable just by shifting the way you look at it? What if you turned it into you time as well? I like to look at it as my designated time of the day to listen to a playlist that pumps me up or that relaxes me. Mozart, remember? Dive into a podcast that sparks my curiosity in some sort of way, or that helps me learn a new language, or you can simply use the time to get lost in an audiobook about a thrilling murder mystery that we all true crime girlies love. Guilty as charged. Suddenly, the time you spend just getting somewhere becomes about doing something for you. Make it your time. It's simple, but believe me, it makes a difference. You'll arrive feeling a little bit better than you left, maybe even energized. It's all about shifting your perspective. And as unlikely as it might sound today, you will start looking forward to those moments on the go. Slow down. Find joy in presence. Trust me, this one is harder than it sounds. We live in a fast-paced world, and it's easy to rush through conversations, meals, and even simple moments like sipping your morning coffee. I am acutely aware it's easier said than done. But believe me, really slowing down and being present can transform how you experience the day. Scratch that. It can change how you experience life. That is exactly when you start noticing the beauty in the little things. Try being fully in the moment during your next meal. Notice the flavors, the textures, even the sounds of the food. Or when you're talking to someone, put your phone away and listen like they're telling you the most important story in the world. Because they might, by the way. Slowing down doesn't mean doing less. It means being more intentional with what you're doing. It's about savoring the moment, making it feel special, embracing presence, being fully here in each moment, and allowing yourself to feel joy in the simplicity of the mundane things in life. Here's the thing, this isn't about forcing positivity. It's also not about pretending everything's fine. Romanticizing life is more than a trend or just the aesthetic moments. It's about being kind to yourself, finding beauty and meaning in the ordinary, and making space for the things that fill your soul. It's about letting yourself take things slow and appreciating what you have. Now, here's something important. Some days, it's hard to feel any of this, and that's totally okay. It isn't about being in a good mood all the time. It's about finding light even when it feels dim. Wow, what a poet I've become. It is with the tiny acts of self-care how we tell ourselves that we matter, that life, even on the hard days, is still full of beautiful moments. Sure, there will be days when it's hard, days when you don't want to light a candle or you can't find anything to romanticize, and that's also okay. In my book, Romanticizing Life is about embracing all of it. The joy, the sadness, the calm, the chaos. In those hard days when you can't find the energy to dance or do anything elaborate, just do one small thing. Maybe it's putting on your favorite socks or watching the sunrise for a moment. And if all else fails, there's always the romantic heart of binge watching Netflix in your comfiest pajamas. That totally counts. It's about giving yourself permission to feel it all, to be where you are and still know that somewhere there's beauty. Even in the cracks, even in the tough days, there's something worth noticing. It's not about ignoring the hard parts, it's about learning to sit with them. Remember, joy is not something to earn, it's something to embrace without guilt. Life is simply too short for that, and on the rough days, do me a favor and remind yourself. It's okay to start over as many times as you need. There's no rush to get it right. The magic is in the trying. Let's remind ourselves that life doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. It just needs to be lived. So here's to remembering that life is worth slowing down for, that it's worth savoring, to laughing at yourself, to dancing when no one is watching, or even when they are, to the joyful, the messy, and everything in between. This is my love letter to life, a reminder to myself and to you. With love, Diana.